Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Today is June the 27th. It's Tuesday. I'm out here at Cathedral Rock Park and my heart rate is currently 117 beats per minute. Temperature is 77 degrees. It's supposed to get to about 100 degrees today again here in San Antonio. And I just wanted to talk about the topic of validation. There's nobody that's going to validate you, not the way that you used to be validated, maybe as a toddler or something that had a newfound luster to it. So I guess what I'm saying is, in terms of people will constantly overlook what's going on if you're celebrating, because many people are not celebrating. And a lot of people did you see the birds that landed in the tree overhead? Many people they're right about, oh, there they go. There goes one of them. Anytime things appear overhead, usually it's a good indicator that we're on the right topic, and it's a sign of some sort. There have been many people who have ridden along with me who have seen these signs and learned to read the signs of positivity and validation in God's world, so to speak. And I don't even mean that in a so to speak way like I don't believe. I mean it like as in, if you don't believe, you might need to hear it in a way where you can at least kind of be a little bit open-minded to signs of confirmation, validation. You know, if I were to just believe just enough that I could move this mountain that was in front of me, and I just commanded it out of the way, and I had that faith that said, I know that this is going to happen because, well, I believe in the higher power. It's necessary. For whatever reason, if that mountain needed to move to protect humanity, maybe to rebalance the tilting of the globe as we continue to use fracking water or whatever it is that they're attributing that they are attributing. You know, that's another thing. The divisiveness of the news and the media makes it so it's hard to track a thought from start to finish. Here I am talking about validation, and here I am talking also about a news article that I saw recently that said the Earth's axis is tilting because we continue to be pumping groundwater, something along those lines, because people won't stop pumping groundwater is what it says. It's not really people. We kind of enable one another to do the dirty work for us so that we kind of overlook what's happening around us blissfully, especially if someone wants to celebrate and say, guess what? Today, I put in my fastest mile ever at 11 minutes and 23 seconds. I'm still pouring out sweat, but it's like I'm primed, I'm ready. I could have done this another mile. I basically ran for 2 miles at that pace, and on my third mile, it was mostly uphill, and to get back to within my expected heart range, I had to throttle it back, and so I actually had to walk a good portion of the last mile, or the last half mile, I should say. And that basically was how today went. I ran my fastest. I saw that I still have progress to be made, but I also feel no pain in my knees. I have no blisters on my feet. I have no worries. I'm getting stronger. And I don't have to defer that to the medical industry. All I had to do was fuel my body differently with fresh foods, sometimes no foods. It depends on whether I was hungry or not. My body demanded the nourishment that it expected to receive so that I could function as a toxin expelling machine. So for all who continue to spell toxins upon me, don't worry, I can convert that as well. I've become toxin adapted. Some people get fat adapted. Many of us are already there. We just need to put in the effort to unlock the rest of the charisma. For those of you who are listening and who understand, you're like, man, I see this guy a lot on this channel. Why am I not talking to these kind of people in real life? What is it? Where did I go today that prevented me from doing some of these things that I could have been doing with my friends and family? The people who come out into nature and who truly believe and who can stand one another, because all of these people who are charismatic are almost the same. They want to get a hello, and I do too. When I wave to people on the trail, I totally hope for someone to wave back. But I don't believe in the validation that normally would come from humanity. I haven't lost faith in humanity. I've only become aware that all of humanity, even the closest ones that we consider direct relatives, will not validate anything. They'll hear this entire story and ask, why was it done here? Why did you do this in your car? Why was this in the garage? For many of you who are listening who know who I am personally, maybe these stories will resonate personally with you. The funny thing is, for most of you who don't know me personally, who are tuning in for this knowledge, you've gone through something just like this yourself. You're not receiving the appreciation that you know you deserve, the encouragement that you think you need. I remember there was this one Tupac song, Tupac Cares If Don't Nobody Else Care. It was absolutely heart-wrenching to hear that type of poetry. And also, the duality of something like that is you can see the lyrics in some of the other songs that Tupac had. So, right now, I ran my fastest mile. I feel great. I went into nature to get baptized in the hot springs. Once again. Some of you might have gone out into the desert with me and prayed. Whatever happened to these conversations that we used to have in person? Anyway, for everyone else who I feel like I'm resonating with, you're resonating with me. Hang in there. Understand that there's a lot to learn, and some of us might have a little bit more experience in some areas than others, but we have blind spots. And without participating in a conversation, where we can exchange energy, we basically find ourselves getting drained. Did you see the bird fly over? We find ourselves getting drained of energy. And that's a truth. All we have to do is ask, the last time I succeeded at something and shared that news with somebody, did they even validate it or affirm that positivity? You know, the other day I was waiting on a passport for several months. And someone extremely close to me requested their passport about a month after I requested mine. Well, they got theirs. Mine was outstanding for months. I didn't worry about it. Most of my travel is self-contained, and guess what? The type of passport that I was requesting that had been delayed for months wasn't even the main deal. It was the pocket card one that you can only use in limited situations. I have everything I need, and even if I didn't have those materialistic things, I would have everything I need. Being in the proximity of those who will not affirm your victories is the same as exposing yourself to dis-ease to disease. And in some cases, there are just nests of disease. And if all you do is offer opportunity to get better, that drives a lot of the diseased away. The diseased cannot hang out with you anymore and talk at length. There's always an excuse. There's always something in time that we have to scurry off to. I can feel that the toxins are still pouring out of me, pouring. And richness continues to be received in exchange. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you understand that, well, Stingray cares if don't nobody else care, just like Tupac. I care. I care about a lot of things, possibly like some people would say about empaths or whatever. Some people care too much. But when you see the nature out here and you see the one scorpion that people stepped on or rode their bike over without ever acknowledging, once again, comes down to validation. As above, so below. If we don't validate nature, why is nature going to validate us? If we don't nurture nature, why is nature going to nurture us? And if we don't nurture one another, why would one another care to nurture us? So with all of that in mind, be absolutely familiar with how to nurture yourself. Once you recognize that secret, everything else is possible. Everything else is possible. And if you really read with 100% faith that you can move a mountain, any obstacle, including the most temporary monetary debts, are no longer insurmountable. It's just a question of how much effort are you going to put into it? Are you going to put that opportunity to walk again into someone else's hands, into another doctor's hands, to try and pull out bad parts that were put into you for a reason? Or are you going to try and take matters into your own hands? Anyway, 11:23 was my fastest mile. We've been going for over a minute more than that, so I'm going to call it a wrap at this point. Call it a great run. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.